The ship shuddered as it passed through the thin atmosphere of the abandoned planet. Captain Alex Rourke gripped the edge of his chair and felt the subtle tremors beneath his hands. He had seen many worlds, some full of life, some dead, but this one carried a strange weight. Even from orbit, the planet looked quiet, almost too quiet. The surface glimmered with patches of green, gold, and gray, a mix of overgrown forests and ruined cities. There were no signs of movement, no lights blinking, nothing to tell him that humans, or anything alive, still walked this world. Alex exhaled slowly and checked the instruments again. The distress signal that had drawn him here was faint, almost like a whisper across the void of space. It wasn't clear if it was recent or an old echo of something long past, but something inside him refused to ignore it. Humans had settled here once, and he had to know what happened to them. The landing was rough but steady. The ship's legs sank slightly into the soil, which was soft and strange under the weight of his vessel. Outside, the wind carried the scent of wild plants mixed with metal, a sign that some machines had been left behind. The air was breathable but carried a faint metallic tang, like the planet itself had been poisoned or changed. Alex double-checked his suit's sensors. Radiation, toxins, and harmful particles, all within safe limits. Still, he felt a chill run down his spine. He stepped out onto the surface. The first thing he noticed was the silence, not the quiet of nature, but the quiet of abandonment. The only sound was the soft hiss of the wind through broken buildings and the distant, faint rustle of plants growing where streets had once been. Every step he took echoed strangely in the empty city. Broken vehicles lay overturned, doors hanging from their hinges and streets cracked like old parchment. It looked like humans had simply vanished, leaving everything behind. Alex activated his scanner, sweeping the area. Signals flickered weakly, drones, energy nodes, and automated systems still running on minimal power. He crouched beside a broken robot and studied it. Its programming was corrupted, its purpose long lost, but there was a faint echo of human design in its careful construction. Whoever had built this had been clever, precise. As he walked deeper into the city, he began to see signs of struggle. Burned-out buildings with walls cracked by explosions, streets littered with scorched debris, and holographic messages flickering in broken loops. One holo displayed a human family waving, a message meant to be a guide or warning, but the words repeated endlessly. Survive, hide, trust no one. Her skin had a soft, almost translucent glow, and her eyes were sharp, intelligent, and unblinking. She was humanoid, but not human. Her movements were fluid, almost too precise, as if every step was measured. The air around her seemed to hum slightly, and Alex felt a strange sense of recognition, like she understood him before he understood her. "You shouldn't be here," she said softly. Her voice carried a melodic quality, a resonance that made the hairs on his arms rise. He noticed she spoke in perfect English, though her accent was faintly alien. "I could say the same," Alex replied, raising his hands slightly to show he was unarmed. "I'm Captain Alex Rourke. I respond to distress signals." "Are you human?" "What do you mean?" He had faced danger before, seen countless battles, but the thought of an entire human population, men vanishing from a planet, was chilling. He looked around at the city again. The emptiness made sense in a horrifying way. Every burned building, every broken street, every abandoned vehicle, they were all echoes of lives that had disappeared. "Why?" he asked. "Why would anyone do this?" "I helped where I could, but—" She shook her head again, almost defeated. Alex clenched his fists. "They underestimated us," he said slowly. Even in the silence of this ruined city, a spark ignited inside him. "They underestimated humans before, and they'll underestimate them again. I'm not leaving until I know what happened and if anyone survived." "You are different from the others," she said finally. "Most humans would panic, run, hide. You—" She didn't finish, but her eyes showed a rare mixture of awe and hope. Together, they walked deeper into the city. Kalira led him through alleys and tunnels that had been converted into hiding places. Old buildings now served as shelters. Here and there, Alex found evidence of human resistance, traps set to delay attackers, hidden caches of supplies, and notes with messages of encouragement. Humans had fought, and even in defeat, they had refused to give up completely. Alex was impressed. He had seen human ingenuity before, but the subtle cleverness here, how the survivors had used the city itself as a weapon, was inspiring. Every turn, every cleverly hidden entrance spoke of courage and intelligence. Even now, in the shadow of disaster, humans had refused to bow. Hours passed as they explored. Occasionally, distant sounds would make Alex tense, a crash, a hum of energy, but it always turned out to be old machinery or wildlife adapted to the abandoned city. Still, the tension never left him completely. He was a soldier trained to expect threats, and this planet was full of unknown dangers. Finally, they reached a building that had been fortified with alien tech. Kalira explained that humans had modified some captured alien drones to create a small defensive system here. "It's not much," she said, "but it kept the worst of them away. Only a few humans remained in this area. They are cautious. They have reason to fear strangers. She may be the key to understanding everything." "You must be the one who received our signal," she said. Her voice was steady, but Alex caught the tension beneath it. "I am Mara. You should know it's dangerous here. The planet is not safe if they find you. Humans survive because we don't give up, and I intend to prove that." The wind carried the faint smell of earth, metal, and something unidentifiable, like the planet itself was alive, watching. And somewhere in the distance, he thought he heard a faint sound of life, a small glimmer of hope amidst the devastation. He clenched his fists and whispered to himself, "Humans don't disappear. We adapt. We survive. And we fight back." And as the first stars appeared in the alien sky, Alex knew that the journey ahead would test everything he had. But he was ready. He had to be. Because in the silence of this abandoned world, one truth stood out above all else. Humans never give up, even when the odds seem impossible. The next morning, the city seemed even more alien than before. Mist hung low between the broken buildings, curling around collapsed streets and rusted vehicles. Alex moved carefully, his boots crunching against debris and cracked asphalt. The faint hum of alien machines echoed from beneath the surface, a reminder that the planet was far from lifeless. Kalira led him through narrow alleys, her movements silent and precise. Alex followed, trying to take in everything around him, the way plants had grown through broken windows, the way streets had been rerouted by collapsed buildings, the occasional glimmer of human-made signals hidden behind alien energy nodes. It was as if the city itself was alive, hiding secrets in every shadow. "They survived longer than most expected," Kalira said quietly. "Humans are clever. They hid, adapted, even used the alien technology they could capture. But the men, they disappeared. I never found them. It is why I am here with you. But I have never seen one since the first wave of attacks." Kalira stopped in front of a crumbled building, its outer walls partially collapsed, revealing twisted metal and faintly glowing circuits. "This is where the resistance gathered for a time," she explained. "They modified alien drones, created traps, and hid stores of food and supplies here. It is not much, but it kept them alive." Broken walls, partially covered by vines, offered small openings. "Let's see what we can learn," he said and stepped inside. The interior was dimly lit, but the glow from alien machinery illuminated strange carvings on the walls, messages left by humans to guide one another. One wall had the word "survive" etched repeatedly, a desperate mantra of those who had hidden here. Another wall showed a crude map, lines and arrows pointing to secret tunnels, hidden rooms, and caches of supplies. Alex's eyes widened. Humans had been smart. Even under attack, they had prepared. Every line, every mark was a sign of planning and resilience. "They thought ahead," he murmured, "even when facing impossible odds." Light flickered and a holographic display came to life. It showed schematics of the city before and after the attacks. Alex studied it carefully. Small red dots marked patrols, areas of danger, and zones where humans had once gathered. Some dots blinked faintly, suggesting hidden energy sources still active. "They used the city itself as a weapon," Kalira explained. Every abandoned building, every collapsed street, there were traps, ambush points, decoys. They knew the aliens would come, but they delayed them as much as they could. Only the men vanished. Without them, survival became harder. If he could locate the remaining humans, he could help them survive. He could even turn the tide. As they moved deeper into the building, Alex noticed faint signs of recent activity, footprints in dust, small fires extinguished but leaving charred marks, the hum of machinery recently used. "Someone has been here," he said. Kalira's eyes narrowed. "Yes, a small group. They move carefully. They have learned to hide from everyone, even me. They trust few." At one junction, Alex noticed a small, sealed doorway almost completely covered by rubble. He crouched and examined it. Symbols etched into the wall indicated it had been reinforced, likely a safe room or command center for the human resistance. "This might be it," he said. Kalira nodded. She moved closer, her hands glowing faintly as she touched the panel beside the door. With a soft hiss, the doorway slid open, revealing a dimly lit room filled with supplies, maps, and the faint smell of stale air. Inside, a small group of humans stirred at the noise of their unexpected visitors. They were cautious, faces hard from survival, eyes sharp and calculating. One stepped forward, a woman with short hair and a stance that radiated confidence. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice steady but wary. "I am Captain Alex Rourke," he said calmly. "I received your signal. I want to help. And I know humans survive because we take risks, even when we don't fully understand the danger. If you want to help, you must understand this. These walls are more than a shelter. They are a trap. They protect, but they also confine." She pointed to tunnels beneath the city-old subway lines modified to be almost invisible. "Some men may have gone here," she explained. "Others hid in remote outposts or were taken to alien facilities. It is dangerous, but if anyone can find them, it is us." The city was a labyrinth, but humans had left markers, traps, and hidden caches. Even without many people, they had made it almost impossible for the aliens to find them all. Hours passed as they examined every detail. Alex asked questions, tested scenarios, and Kalira added insights from her alien knowledge. She explained how the aliens monitored certain energy signals and how humans had cleverly masked their activities. Every answer revealed more about the resilience of humans, how they could survive, adapt, and turn even alien technology into a tool for resistance. By mid-afternoon, Alex and Mara moved deeper into the tunnels beneath the city. The air was damp and musty, but they moved carefully, checking every corner. Small lights glimmered in the distance, likely powered by human ingenuity, and faint sounds suggested life. Mara's expression was tense but hopeful. "This way," she whispered. "Some of the remaining humans have been hiding here. They may know more about the men. But be careful, the aliens have sensors everywhere." Inside, a small group of humans had gathered, faces alert, eyes scanning for threats. They were armed, but not heavily. Their weapons were clever, built from scavenged alien tech, showing the ingenuity humans were famous for. Alex stepped forward. "I am here to help. I want to find the missing men and keep you safe. Together, we can turn the tables. Humans survive, we fight, and we never give up no matter the odds." They had been hiding for months, always running, always cautious. But Alex's presence, his determination, and the support of Kalira, the alien who had chosen to help, ignited a spark they had almost forgotten. Plans were discussed, strategies drawn. Alex and Mara examined maps, noting possible routes, safe zones, and locations where men might have survived or been taken. Kalira shared knowledge of alien patrol patterns and energy signals. Together, they began to form a plan that could finally lead them to the men who had vanished and strike back against the forces that had destroyed so much. By the time night fell again over the city, Alex stood near the entrance of the tunnels, looking back at the small group of survivors. The walls around him echoed faintly with the memories of humans who had fought and hidden here. He felt a deep sense of respect and pride. The journey ahead would be dangerous. There would be traps, alien forces, and countless unknowns. But for the first time since he landed, he felt the thrill of purpose. Humans had survived worse, and he knew that they could survive this too. And somewhere in the silence of the tunnels, he heard faint whispers of hope, a sign that the fight was far from over, and that even in a world where the men had disappeared, humanity could still rise. Alex moved quietly through the tunnels with Mara and Kalira, the walls damp with condensation and the faint hum of alien energy surrounding them. Every step was measured, every sound echoed through the narrow passageways. He could feel the tension building in the small group of humans that had joined him. They had been living in hiding for months, but the presence of someone new, someone determined, rekindled a fire of hope that had been dimming for too long. "We have to be careful," Mara whispered. "The station we're approaching is heavily guarded. The aliens use automated drones, energy sensors, and patrols. They will notice anything unusual. We can avoid most of them if we stick to the side tunnels," he said. "But some will have sensors we can't see. We need a distraction, something to pull them away from the main entrance. It won't last long, maybe a few minutes, but it should be enough for you to get inside." Occasionally, they had to squeeze through narrow gaps, climb over fallen debris, and avoid unstable walls. Alex marveled at the ingenuity of the humans who had modified the tunnels to be almost invisible. Every corner, every passage seemed designed to confuse an intruder, yet those who knew the paths could move quickly and silently. Finally, they reached the chamber nearest the surface. Above them, the faint glow of alien lights indicated the research station. Alex's scanner showed clusters of drones and energy fields. The station was enormous, built into the crater like a crown of alien metal. The hum of machinery was louder here, almost oppressive. "This is it," Mara whispered. "The missing men, some of them may still be here. If they are, we have to be ready for anything." Alex signaled to the humans, and they moved quickly, climbing the final incline to the station's entrance. Inside, the station was cold and metallic. The corridors were narrow and dark, lit only by faint green energy lines along the walls. Every step echoed in the silence. Alex could feel the presence of the alien guards even before seeing them. Sensors watched, drones hovered, and the faint hum of energy suggested the station was alive in its own way. They moved quickly, using shadows and hidden passages Myra had identified from old schematics. Small rooms contained alien equipment, glowing with unknown energy. Some devices pulsed rhythmically, while others hummed a low, continuous tone. Alex felt a strange mixture of curiosity and unease. These machines were powerful, and humans had been forced to adapt quickly to survive among them. "This way," Mara whispered, leading them down a stairwell that spiraled deep into the heart of the station. The hum of energy grew louder, more intense. Alex's scanner showed clusters of red dots, alien patrols converging in the next chamber. He crouched, whispering to the group. "We split into 2 teams. Mara and I take the left corridor. Kalira, you go right and disrupt the security nodes. Timing will be everything. We move fast, hit the station's heart, and find the men if they're here." They anticipate intruders. Inside were figures, slumped but alive. Humans, men, his heart leapt. They had survived. Even in the grip of this alien station, humanity had endured. Some of the men were unconscious, likely sedated. Others stirred slightly, weak but alive. Alex's eyes hardened. The aliens had underestimated humans again. Mara checked the pods carefully. "We can release them," she whispered. "But the alarms will trigger if we're not careful." Alex reassured them. "You're safe now, we're getting you out." The men, though weak and disoriented, followed their lead. Mara provided guidance, pointing to safe paths, while Kalira disabled security nodes ahead. Every second counted. They reached a larger chamber with a massive alien console in the center. Alex realized this was the station's command hub. From here, the aliens monitored the city, the tunnels, and the containment pods. If they could take control, they could disable the station's defenses. Alex moved quickly, examining the console. Alien symbols flashed across the surface, but some were familiar from Kalira's explanations. He pressed a sequence, guided by her knowledge, and the station's security systems flickered and paused. Doors opened, drones deactivated, and the hum of machinery slowed. Mara's eyes widened. "You're actually doing it," she said. "You're human. We're taking you home. We survive, we fight, and we never give up." Kalira moved swiftly, creating a barrier that disrupted the alien sensors. Together, humans and their ally fought with intelligence and strategy rather than brute strength. The alien adjusted quickly, but Alex anticipated its movements, leading it into a narrow corridor where its size and strength worked against it. Using a combination of speed, clever positioning, and improvised tools, Alex forced the alien to retreat temporarily. "Move!" he shouted, helping the freed men toward the exit. The group raced through the corridors, past disabled drones and blinking energy nodes. The air was filled with sparks and the hum of disrupted systems. Alex could feel the weight of the moment. Every second mattered, every decision counted. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and now they were proving it again. Finally, they reached the surface. The station loomed behind them, lights flickering, systems failing. The freed men looked around, seeing the city, the tunnels, and the open sky for the first time in months. Some fell to their knees, overwhelmed by relief and disbelief. Alex helped the weakest to their feet. "You're free," he said. "You survived, you are human, and humans never give up." Their courage, ingenuity, and determination, it is unmatched. Yet one thing was certain. Humans had endured, adapted, and risen even in the face of overwhelming odds. As night fell over the crater, the freed men huddled together, sharing stories, food, and hope. Alex stood apart for a moment, looking at the stars above. He thought of all the battles humans had survived, all the times they had been underestimated, and all the challenges that still lay ahead. Humans had faced extinction, alien forces, and impossible odds, and yet they survived. And as long as they did, there would always be hope. Alex turned to Kalira and Mara. "We have a lot to do," he said, "but humanity never quits, not now, not ever." Then let us begin. The wind carried a faint metallic smell, a reminder of the alien occupation, but it also carried hope, the hope of survival, of reclaiming their world. "We can't stay here," Mara said quietly, pointing to the glowing ruins of the research station behind them. "Even with the drones disabled, the aliens will return. They will reinforce the station, and they will search for survivors. We need a safe place to regroup." The entrance was narrow, almost invisible, and Mara had spent weeks mapping it in secret. Inside, the air was cool and dry, a welcome relief from the damp tunnels outside. The space was larger than it appeared from above, rooms connected by hallways, small storage areas, and ventilation shafts that allowed them to observe the surface without being seen. "This will be our base," Mara said. "It's not much, but it's secure. We can expand it, set traps, and organize the resistance here. Humans can adapt, even with what little we have." Alex gathered the leaders of the group in the main chamber. Maps were spread across a makeshift table, showing the city above, the hidden tunnels, and areas where alien forces were concentrated. "We need to divide our efforts," Alex said. "Some of us will scout the surface for supplies and intel, others will work on strengthening the base. And a small team will focus on finding those who are still missing, especially the men who vanished. Humans survive because we think ahead, we adapt, and we never give up. We will use their own rules against them. We'll be fast, quiet, and unpredictable. They may have strength, but we have ingenuity." The city was quiet, but the signs of alien occupation were everywhere: crashed drones, energy barriers, and glowing markers that indicated patrol routes. Every shadow seemed alive, every sound a possible threat. Alex led the team carefully, studying patrol patterns and noting weaknesses. They moved like ghosts, slipping between shadows and using old buildings as cover. Occasionally, they encountered alien machines, drones hovering silently, sensors scanning, but the humans were clever. Using hacked devices, simple traps, and quick thinking, they avoided detection. They discovered hidden caches of supplies, food, energy cores, and even some weapons left behind by the resistance. Alex smiled faintly. Humans were survivors, even when the world seemed against them. Every clever trick, every improvised solution was proof that ingenuity and courage were humanity's greatest weapons. During one scouting mission, they came across a group of hidden humans, frightened and wary. Alex approached slowly, hands raised. "We are human," he said. "We are here to help. You are safe." They were weak and scared, but alive. Alex's presence, his confidence, and the knowledge that other humans had survived gave them hope. He guided them back to the base, showing them that humans could adapt and survive even in the harshest conditions. Back at the base, Alex and Mara began training the survivors. They taught them how to use alien technology against their enemies, how to set traps, how to move silently, and how to anticipate patrols. Every day, the humans became stronger, faster, and more confident. Even the weak learned to defend themselves. Alex watched them train and felt a surge of pride. These people had been hunted, trapped, and nearly erased, but they were fighting back. They were humans, and humans never gave up. Kalira worked alongside them, sharing knowledge of alien technology and strategies. She marveled at the human capacity to learn and adapt. "You are remarkable," she said quietly to Alex. "Even after everything, humans find ways to survive and fight back. I have never seen anything like it." Humanity survives because we refuse to accept defeat, no matter how impossible the odds. We may be small in number, but we are clever, adaptable, and courageous. That is why we endure. Mara provided insights from her time hiding in the city, and Kalira added details about alien weaknesses and security systems. Together, they developed a plan that relied on human ingenuity rather than brute force. They would strike at supply lines, disable patrols, and rescue any humans still in captivity. Every move was calculated, every risk measured. The humans were outnumbered, but they had speed, cunning, and determination on their side. On the night of the first mission, the group moved out. Shadows stretched across the city as they navigated rooftops, alleys, and hidden paths. Alex led the way, his mind sharp and focused. Every step, every decision could mean the difference between success and failure. They reached a supply depot guarded by drones and energy barriers. Using improvised tools and knowledge of alien systems, the humans disabled the defenses and moved in quickly. They recovered supplies, food, energy cores, and weapons without alerting the aliens. As they retreated to the base, Alex felt a surge of pride. The humans had done it. They had taken what they needed, outsmarted the aliens, and returned safely. It was a small victory, but it was proof that humans could fight back, even against overwhelming odds. Over the next weeks, the humans continued their operations. They struck at patrols, sabotaged equipment, and rescued more survivors. Each mission increased their confidence and skill. The base became a hub of activity, a center of human resistance. Alex worked tirelessly, teaching, planning, and leading. He pushed the humans to be their best, not through fear, but through belief in their own strength. They began to see themselves not just as survivors, but as fighters. One evening, as they gathered in the main chamber of the base, Alex addressed the group. "We have come a long way," he said. "We are humans, we survive, we fight, and we never give up. The aliens thought they could erase us, but they were wrong. They underestimated us, and they will continue to underestimate us because they cannot understand the strength, courage, and ingenuity of humanity." They had seen what they were capable of, and they knew that together they could overcome anything. Kalira watched silently, her glowing hands resting lightly on the console. "They are remarkable," she said softly. "Even after so much loss, they fight, they survive. I see now why humans endure. It is not strength alone, it is courage, intelligence, and the will to never surrender. And that is what we will use to reclaim this world. We are outnumbered, but we are humans, and humans never quit." Each step, each mission, each clever trick brought them closer to freedom and revenge. Alex walked to the edge of the base, looking out over the city. The ruins stretched as far as the eye could see, glowing faintly with alien energy. He could feel the pulse of the city, the remnants of humanity, and the hope that still burned. "This is just the beginning," he whispered. "Humans survive. We adapt and we fight back, no matter the odds." And Alex knew with every fiber of his being that humanity had not only survived, but was preparing to take back what was theirs. The first light of dawn painted the ruined city in a soft, golden hue. Alex stood on the edge of the underground base, looking out over the streets, the collapsed buildings, and the glowing remnants of alien machinery. The city had been quiet for weeks, but today would change that. Today, humans would take back their world. He turned to Mara and Kalira. "Are the teams ready?" he asked. Mara nodded. "All groups are in position. Scouts report that patrols are slightly thinner this morning. They do not expect us to strike this soon. It gives us an advantage. I have disabled most of the surface sensors temporarily. You will have a window of a few minutes to act before they reboot. After that, their drones may begin searching aggressively." Every human here had learned, adapted, and trained for this moment. "Then it begins," Alex said quietly. "Remember, humans survive because we think ahead, we adapt, we never give up. Today we strike back, not with brute force alone, but with ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. Stay sharp, trust each other, and move fast. Let them underestimate us, and we will use it against them." Alien towers, once imposing, now seemed vulnerable under the careful planning of the humans. Alex glanced at Mara. "Timing is critical. We hit the command hub together. Every second counts." The humans moved silently, shadows among shadows, each step calculated. At the central chamber, the alien commander waited. Tall and imposing, it moved with precision and speed that was intimidating, but Alex had studied it. He knew its patterns, its weaknesses, and its reliance on sensors that humans could disrupt. "You dare to return?" the alien said, its voice a low hum that reverberated through the chamber. "You are insignificant." Alex dodged, using the alien's momentum against it, and hurled a device at a nearby control panel. Sparks flew, and the alien faltered. Mara and a small team struck at the alien's sensors, temporarily blinding it. Kalira moved quickly, creating barriers that disrupted its balance and vision. Alex seized the moment. Using his strength, agility, and sharp instincts, he forced the alien back into a narrow corridor. Traps they had set earlier activated, pulses of energy, falling debris, and improvised restraints slowed the alien further. The humans were clever, coordinated, and unrelenting. Every move was calculated, every action purposeful. The battle continued, but the humans pressed forward. The freed men and women, trained and inspired, took out drones, disabled energy nodes, and rescued prisoners trapped within the command center. The aliens' technology, once terrifying, was now a tool they could manipulate. Every victory, no matter how small, fueled their confidence. Alex finally faced the alien commander directly. It struck with powerful blows, but he anticipated each movement. Using a combination of speed, clever tactics, and human ingenuity, he forced the alien to stumble. With a final, well-timed strike, he disabled its central core. The alien collapsed, systems shutting down, and the command hub's defenses flickered and failed. "Everyone, fall back," Alex shouted. The station is ours, but we need to regroup and evacuate safely. They reached the underground base where others had been preparing for this moment. Once inside, the survivors gathered, faces shining with relief, hope, and pride. Alex looked at them, his heart swelling. They had done it. Humans had reclaimed part of their world, proven that courage, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the most formidable enemy. Mara approached Alex. "The missing men are safe," she said. "All those we could find have been rescued, and the others, some may still be hidden, but now we have a base, allies, and momentum. We can continue the search. And we will not stop until this world is ours again." That is humanity. The alien machines were silent, drones disabled, and the command hub taken. The city had been scarred, but the humans had endured. They had survived where others thought they would fail. He thought of the men who had vanished, the families who had hidden, and the countless humans who had fought and endured. Their courage, intelligence, and resilience had brought them here. And it would carry them forward. "Tomorrow we continue," Alex said quietly to himself. "We reclaim what was lost, we protect those who survived, and we show the galaxy what humans are capable of. And they never will again." Over the following weeks, Alex and the survivors launched smaller missions, rescuing more humans and sabotaging remaining alien outposts. Every success reinforced their belief in themselves. Humans had been hunted, trapped, and underestimated, but they had endured. Every clever trap, every brave act, every calculated strike reminded them of who they were. Alex walked among them, teaching, guiding, and inspiring. He reminded them that survival was not enough. They had to be clever, brave, and united. Every human here had a role to play, every mind a contribution to the greater effort. And as the weeks turned into months, the city slowly transformed. The ruins became a stronghold. Hidden paths became secure routes. Supplies and weapons were gathered and organized. Humans had taken a world that had tried to erase them and turned it into a bastion of resilience. One evening, as Alex watched the stars appear in the alien sky, he reflected on everything that had happened. Humans had faced extinction, alien forces, and impossible odds, yet here they were, alive, strong, and united. They had adapted, fought back, and reclaimed what was theirs. "They will never forget this," Kalira said softly beside him. "Humans are remarkable. That is why we endure." The alien threat was not completely gone, but humans had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. They had reclaimed part of their world and proven that courage, ingenuity, and unity could overcome any challenge. And above all, they had proven that humans never give up. As night fell, the survivors looked to the stars, thinking of distant worlds, of challenges yet to come, and of the strength that lay within them. They were humans, resilient, clever, and brave. They had survived the impossible, adapted to the unimaginable, and fought back against overwhelming odds. And in the silence of the alien world, a spark of humanity burned brighter than any star. Alex looked at the survivors at the city and at the stars above. "We are humans," he said quietly. "We survive, we adapt, we fight, and we never give up, not now, not ever."